Today we are trying to go through our third chapter, Politics of Planned Development. We have already learned one chapter regarding development in our plus one classes. Then we have learned what is development and what are the features of development and examples for development, then the social and environmental costs of development, etc. Then come to this chapter, we have to understand what are the ideas of development. Ideas of development means what happens when development comes. What are the indications of development? It is the ideas of development here. Then we can consider industrialization and modernization, urbanization and liberalization are the ideas of development. Then industrialization means our villages or some other places become industrial complexes. That is an indication of development. And at the same time, the same place, the culture of the community or culture of the villages are changes to modern by breaking down the traditional social structures. That is modernization. This is also a part of development. Then huge cities come to existence as the development progress. It is known as urbanization. Then what about liberalization? Liberalization especially happening in the field of business, and privatization comes to exist. That is liberalization and privatization. All these are considered as the ideas of development. Wherever a development happens, these are happening there. Then go back to the time of our independence. Our political leaders were very concerned about the development of the nation, especially economic development. Then they looked around the world for some models of economic development. There were two models exist. First one was liberal capitalist development model as in Europe and the USA or America. And the second one was the socialist model as in the USSR. Our leaders, especially they were interested in the socialist system. Socialist model existed in the USSR. But later what happened is that our leaders opted a mixed economy, adopting major points from the capitalist model and the socialist model from USSR. At that time, three major issues prompted the leaders of India to start their planning. In 1929, world crisis, economic crisis around the world happened, and the reconstruction of Japan and Germany after the Second World War, then the growth of the USSR as a major power prompted our leaders to think about planning for future. As a result of which, we planned to constitute a commission that was known as Planning Commission of India. Then here the question arises, as far as our examination is concerned, the structure and the functions of the Planning Commission of India. Planning Commission of India was constituted 15th March 1950, and it dissolved in the year of 2014, and after that in 2015 January, now the Niti Aayog came into existence. Now there is no planning commission for India, but on the contrary there exists Niti Aayog. National Institution for Transforming India is the new name for planning commission. And always the Prime Minister of India will be the chairman of this Niti Aayog. So it has to do various functions for the nation. First of all, assessing the material capital and human resources. That is the first function of Niti Aayog or Planning Commission. And then plan to use country's resources in a proper way. And third one is allocation of resources into the various sectors of the society. Then evaluate the achievement after planning. Then recommendations to be submitted before the government. But prior to this, a number of good entrepreneurs and industrialists and businessmen, they came together and drafted a joint proposal to set a planned economy in the country. That was the first plan in India. It is known as Bombay Plan. In 1951, we started our first 5-year plan and continuously we implemented 3 plans. When at the time of the 4th plan, there was acute economic crisis happened in India, as a result of which India government compelled to drop the 4th plan, and that period is known as plan holiday. Then another important question from this chapter is to compare first 5-year plan and the second 5-year plan. So we can discuss what are the differences between first 5-year plan and the second 5-year plan. Then the duration of the first 5-year plan was 1951 to 1956. Second 5-year plan duration was 1956 to 1961. Then an economist K.N. Raj prepared a draft for the first 5-year plan, but at the same time Mahalanobis, an economist, prepared a draft for the second 5-year plan. And agriculture was given more importance in the first 5-year plan, but at the same time industrialization was the aim of the second 5-year plan. First 5-year plan concentrated on slow progress or slow development, but rapid industrialization was the theme of the second 5-year plan. And as a result of the first 5-year plan, dams such as Bakranangal and Hirakud were constructed and several canals were constructed and irrigation facilities increased. But in the second 5-year plan, heavy industries were given more importance. So these are the features, these are the difference between first 5-year plan and the second 5-year plan. Another important question we expect from this chapter is what is green revolution? What are the merits and demerits of green revolution? Then around 1960s, food crisis, unemployment, poverty prevailed in India. Then the central government started to think a revolution in the field of agriculture. They used high yielding seeds, modern type of pesticides, especially chemicals, and modern irrigation facilities using electricity, and different types of fertilizers for the growth of agricultural produce, as a result of which the production, agricultural production highly increased. This is known as the green revolution. As a result of which, what happened in India was overproduction of agricultural produces, especially wheat and paddy, and the rate comes slow because the government, as a result, the government could supply the resources or agricultural produces to the needy people up to a least cost. But at the same time, unemployment and poverty up to a limit were eradicated from the society, and the national income increased. All these are considered as the merits of the green revolution. But at the same time, in our society, some polarization happened. Our poor peasants became more poor, and the middle class peasants became rich. That happened after the green revolution, and the brokers grown up. A new section of the society, the brokers grown up, they exploited the poor peasants. And the excessive use of pesticides and chemicals caused many diseases among the people. And our water bodies were damaged and poisoned, and it affected the people negatively. All these are considered the demerits of this green revolution. This question may also be expected in the examination.